The morning sun filtered through the cracked window of the Nwoke family's modest bungalow in Suralere, Lagos. The sounds of honking danfos and hawkers filled the air as twin sisters Zara and Zina stood before their shared mirror, brushing their identical curls. But while their faces mirrored each other perfectly, their hearts could not be more different. Zara hummed cheerfully, adjusting the sketchbook tucked into her handbag. Today was her first pitch meeting with a local fashion investor. "Pray for me, Zina," she smiled, applying her lip gloss. "If this works, our lives could change." Zina gave a half smile but said nothing. Deep down, she was furious. Zara always got the spotlight. Everyone loved her sketches, her style, her soft-spoken confidence. Meanwhile, Zina felt invisible, always second, always shadowed. "I hope they like it," Zina finally said, biting her lip. Zara turned, sensing something in her sister's tone. "You've seen the designs. You helped me pick the fabrics. Why wouldn't they?" Zina shrugged. "You never know. Lagos people can be fake." As Zara rushed off, hopeful and buzzing, Zina sat back on their bed, staring into the mirror. Her reflection smirked back at her, the same face Zara wore, but with different intentions. "She thinks she's better than me," Zina whispered. "We'll see." As the front door shut behind Zara, Zina quietly reached under the bed and pulled out Zara's backup sketch folder, the one with the original designs. A wicked plan was already forming in her mind. In the city of dreams, some mirrors reflect beauty, others reflect betrayal. Zina tucked the folder into her handbag just as Mama Nwoke entered the room, balancing a tray of freshly made akara. "Zina, you're still here." Mama raised a brow. "Zara, go pitch her designs. You know follow." Zina forced a smile. "No, Mama. I have headache. I'll rest small." Mama's face softened immediately. "Ah, sorry, my baby. Come and eat." I knew Zara wouldn't wait to eat before running off. That girl's always chasing something. Zina's chest tightened. Zara, always praised, always running ahead. Zina took the plate and sat by the window, chewing in silence while watching Zara disappear down the street, confidence in every step. Later that afternoon, Zina headed to the same investor's office in Ikoyi. Only she got there before Zara. Wearing Zara's signature fabric and carrying the original designs, she introduced herself as Zara Nwoke. "Ah, your reputation precedes you," the investor, Mr. Adeoti, smiled warmly. "I've heard good things. These sketches, they're stunning. This one, the Ankara lace fusion, is brilliant." Zina smiled sweetly, heart thudding in her chest. "Thank you, sir. Fashion is my life." She left the building with a handshake, a promise of investment, and a heart full of guilt, though buried beneath satisfaction. An hour later, the real Zara arrived, only to be told politely that Zara Nwoke had already come and pitched. Confused and humiliated, Zara walked home in a daze, her dreams now clouded by a fog she couldn't explain. And at home, Zina smiled to herself in the mirror. Let the games begin. Zara stormed into their room, slamming the door behind her. Zina, lounging on the bed in Zara's favorite wrapper, barely looked up. "Why did you do it?" Zara's voice trembled. Zina blinked innocently. "Do what?" "Don't play games with me, Zina. You went to Mr. Adeoti and used my name. You stole my designs." Zina sat up slowly, folding her arms. "Our name. And those designs. You sketched them on our table, used my fabrics, took my ideas. Maybe we built them together." Zara's eyes burned. "No. You know that's not true." Their mother knocked and peeked in, sensing the tension. "What is going on here?" Zina jumped in first. "It's nothing, Mama. Zara's just upset about something at the pitch." But Zara couldn't hold it in. "She stole my identity and pitched my work, Mama." "She's lying." Mama's expression darkened. "Zara, don't accuse your sister. She's been here all day with me. How could she go to pitch anything?" Zara stared at Zina in disbelief. Her sister's lie was smooth, well-rehearsed. And Mama believed it, like she always did. Later that night, while Zara sat in bed clutching her empty sketchbook, Zina secretly replied to a congratulatory email from Mr. Adeoti. She had no intention of stopping. In the silence between them, trust began to rot. The mirror that once reflected sisterhood now cracked, jagged with secrets, splintered with envy. The days that followed were a blur for Zara. She barely spoke, barely ate. Every time she looked at Zina, her chest ached with a storm of betrayal. But what hurt most was Mama's refusal to believe her. "Maybe you dreamt it," Mama said one night as she stirred ogbono soup. "Zina can't do that. You know how close you two are." "Close?" Zara wanted to scream. They hadn't been close in years. Not since the school talent show when Zina cried for days because Zara won. Not since Zara got admitted into fashion school and Zina didn't. Zara stopped bringing her sketchbooks home. She kept to herself, seeking refuge at Auntie Reese's tailoring shop after school. The older woman welcomed her like a daughter. "Some people will dim your light to make theirs shine brighter," Auntie Reese said, adjusting her glasses as Zara stitched a hem. "But your gift will always speak louder. Just be patient." Zara nodded, blinking back tears. Meanwhile, Zina's life was blooming. She was invited to a networking brunch for young designers. She wore a borrowed smile and Zara's dreams like a second skin. But inside, the guilt was growing, a heavy thing that sat in her chest. She avoided Zara's eyes, avoided conversations, avoided mirrors. Even the loudest applause couldn't quiet the whisper in her heart. "You're living a lie." And lies, like secrets, always find a way to rise, even in silence. Weeks passed, but the rift between the sisters only deepened. Mama noticed the tension but chalked it up to normal twin quarrels. Zina, now glowing from social attention and a growing online following, kept up the act flawlessly. At Auntie Reese's shop, Zara poured herself into her craft. She created a new line from scratch, one unlike anything she had done before. Bold, fearless, emotional. She titled it Unbroken Threads. One evening, Auntie Reese entered the back room and watched Zara sketch with fierce intensity. "You've changed," she said softly. Zara paused. "I have to. It's the only way to survive her." Reese pulled up a stool beside her. "You think your sister won't crash? Lies don't walk far. But you're building something real." Zara exhaled. "I just want to prove I'm more than what she tried to erase." Meanwhile, Zina was beginning to sweat under the pressure. Mr. Adiotti's assistant had requested her process work for the next pitch, something Zina didn't have. The sketches were Zara's, and she couldn't replicate the same detail. Late that night, Zina crept into Zara's drawer while she slept. But this time, the pages were filled with incomplete patterns and decoys. Zara had learned. The next morning, Zina confronted her. "You think you're smart now?" Zara looked her dead in the eye. "I've always been smart. I just didn't want to believe you were capable of this." Zina's lips curled, but behind her smirk was a hint of fear. The game was no longer in her favor. Zara was no longer playing nice. Mr. Adiotti called for a private meeting with Zara to finalize the partnership. Zina, dressed in another borrowed outfit, showed up nervous but poised. "Good afternoon, sir," she said, masking her fear with charm. Mr. Adiotti smiled, but there was a sharpness in his tone. "I've been looking at your Instagram. Impressive following. But something's been bothering me." Zina stiffened. "Sir, I saw a tag on another account. Someone named Zara and Woke. Same designs, same face, different tone. Care to explain?" Zina's heart pounded. "She's my sister. We work together, sometimes." Mr. Adiotti leaned forward. "I thought you said these designs were all yours." Zina faltered. "They are, I mean, mostly." He tapped his pen on the desk. "Look, I don't deal with drama. If there's confusion, I'll step back. Get things sorted and come clean. Or I walk." Zina walked out, shaken. Her carefully built web was beginning to fray. Meanwhile, Zara received a DM from Mr. Adiotti's assistant. "Hi, we're confused about your profile and another claiming your work. Can you come in for a chat?" Zara stared at the message, hence trembling. A chance to finally tell the truth. But was she ready? At home, Zina was pacing the room when Zara walked in, holding up her phone. "Your time's almost up," Zara said quietly. "The truth is knocking." Zina clenched her fists. "You wouldn't dare." But Zara had fire in her eyes now, the kind that comes after being burned. "I would. And I will." Zina watched as Zara packed her best sketches into a file. Her hands trembled, not with fear, but with rage. "You want to ruin me?" Zina hissed. "You want to destroy everything I've built?" Zara paused, her back still turned. You destroyed it the moment you stole what wasn't yours. Zina scoffed. So what? You've always had everything. People love you without trying. I had to become you just to matter. Zara slowly turned to face her. You matter, Zina. But not like this. The room fell silent, their unspoken wounds laid bare. Years of comparison, favoritism, and silent resentment boiled between them. You don't know what it's like being the forgotten one, Zina whispered. Always being told, why can't you be more like Zara? Even Mama. Zara's eyes softened. I didn't ask for that. I never wanted to compete with you. But you did. Every day. Zara's voice cracked. I just wanted us to win together. Zina turned away, her shoulders shaking. But there were no tears. Just anger, pride, and a fear of being nothing without the lie she lived. Later that evening, Zara arrived at Mr. Adiotti's office with her sketches, her identity and her truth. This is my work, she said calmly. I don't want to sabotage anyone. I just want to be seen for who I really am. Mr. Adiotti studied her face, then the sketches. Finally, he smiled. Now this is the real designer I've been waiting for. Outside, the sun began to set, and in the dim light, Zara stood a little taller, finally stepping out of the shadow. Zara's meeting with Mr. Adiotti had gone better than she expected. He promised to clear up the confusion and support her work directly. For the first time in weeks, she felt like herself again, grounded, seen. But at home, storm clouds gathered. Zina sat alone on the veranda, knees pulled to her chest. She had heard everything. The truth was out. Her name would soon be cleared from every contract, every social media post, every lie. Mama came outside with a tray of fruit and sat beside her. Why is your face like this, Zina? You and your sister fighting again. Zina didn't answer. She just stared into the distance, her jaw clenched. Mama sighed. I don't understand the both of you anymore. You girls used to be inseparable. Zina turned slowly. You always praised her more. Do you know how that feels? Mama's brow furrowed. What are you saying? You never saw me. Not really. It was always Zara this, Zara that. Even when I tried, it was never enough. Mama blinked, shocked. Is that why you? Zina stood abruptly, brushing imaginary dust off her dress. It doesn't matter anymore. Inside, Zara stood at the doorway, overhearing every word. A heaviness settled in her heart. For all the lies, there was truth in Zina's pain. But could understanding mend a bond already broken? That night, the house remained quiet. No fighting, no yelling, just the hum of unsaid words between two sisters who no longer knew how to be sisters. The next morning, Zara received a surprising call from Mr. Adiotti.